Runway. It's not just a magazine. It's a global icon. A winding road that brings us back together again.
Hello?
Well, look what TJ Maxx dragged in.
Sorry. Who is this? Do you know her? Do I know her?
I'm Andy Sachs. Andrea?
She was one of the Emilys.
One of the what?
Hello, my name is Michael Morley, and I'm here to review The Devil Wears Prada 2, directed by David Frankel.
Miranda Priestley struggles against Emily Charlton, her former assistant turned rival executive, as they compete for advertising revenue amid declining print media, while Miranda nears retirement.
This sees the return of Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, Emily Blunt, and Stanley Tucci. This is set 20 years after the first movie. We now see them all reunite. Anne Hathaway's character gets fired from her recent job that she is now doing, and now she somehow returns to Runway to work with Meryl Streep and Stanley Tucci's characters. And we see a whole heap of drama. We see that Meryl Streep doesn't remember who Anne Hathaway is. She's still this same arrogant character, but we also see that Stanley Tucci is probably the glue that keeps everything together. He's probably the reason why she's still able to work there, because she is so hard to work with. We really see in this movie that there are things about Meryl Streep's character that she does not get away with. There are things that have changed. She has a lot of problems. There are things that she's trying to accomplish, and she's near retirement. There's something that happens on social media that literally ruins her reputation. And Anne Hathaway is literally there as a journalist to basically save her from being blacklisted. Emily Blunt returns working for a new fashion company called Dior. She was basically let go from the original job at Runway, and there's a little bit of a rival. She's got some vendetta against Meryl Streep's character. It's very interesting. I didn't really know what to expect. I'm not really into these sort of movies, but I came out pleasantly surprised. This is actually a decent sequel. It definitely just does everything correct of what a sequel should be. It does the story well. Every character feels like they feel important to the film. You don't just shoehorn them in because it's Meryl Streep and Anne Hathaway. All these characters need to come back because of who they are. They all have a story. They all feel needed in this film. Even Emily Blunt's character, she could have easily been in it because of Emily Blunt and her popularity. Easily, her story is important. Everybody's story in this film, but the central character is Anne Hathaway. She is probably the most humble, nicest character in this film, but we also see a new side of Meryl Streep's character, which is really interesting. We see that she does have feelings, that she does have, a heart, that she's not egotistical. She actually, things do get to her. She does have emotions and feelings, unlike in the first movie where she was completely insensitive. In this one, she is, but we actually get to see the flip of the coin. We get to see more of her behind the scenes. We even get to see more of Nigel. I like Nigel's character, Stanley Tucci. He's probably my favorite character in this whole franchise. He is literally that guy that never gets into trouble, never gets into shit, but he's always the one that tries to fix things for other people. He's just that guy. He's that go-to dude. He's the glue that keeps everything together. Everybody else is a muck but him. His character is funny. We get to know more about Anne Hathaway and her possible relationships, and we see Emily Blunt and Meryl Streep's now in a relationship with character played by Kenneth Branagh. But we don't really see much of a backstory with Stanley Tucci's character. We don't really know if he's married or if he has kids, or we just see him at work, but we see the other three characters outside the workplace doing their own thing, but we never really see anything with Stanley Tucci's character. I will say maybe 5 minutes could have been cut from this film. It felt like it dragged just a little bit, but overall I was pleasantly surprised with this sequel. It was definitely a good sequel. Can I say it's better than the first one? I mean, I think that first movie is so iconic. It's aged 20 years. Literally, the sequel is trying to be its own thing, and it has its own story, but it's also faithful to the first film. So it just feels like a really good companion to the first movie. 8.5 out of 10.
Am I having a hallucination?
Hi, Emily.
You also know her?
We were at Runway at the same time, Miranda.
Really? Where was I?
Where would you like to start? I am the new features editor at Runway. No, you are not.
Yeah, we're all so thrilled.
You know what's funny is you've changed. You have. You're much more confident. Kept those eyebrows, though, didn't you?